Hello friends, welcome back. So today we have not just one, but a series of exciting Pokemon battles. And no, it is not the Pokemon League, not yet. We have one more battle to do first. Right now our team is level 69, level 70, kind of in that range. And I want to get them to 71 before we face the Pokemon League for their rematches. But before we do that, I'm going to face the Riches family here outside Undella Town, I think it's called. And actually there's another very, very strong trainer here in Undella Town. We'll be facing them a little bit later on, actually a familiar face, and that might be, arguably, the hardest opponent in the game. But for now, let's get started and face the Riches. Oh, you came! You have an extremely bored look on your face. I don't mind having a battle with you. So, the way these guys work is they are a family of 6, and each day you come here, you can face one more of them. But you have to face them... when you face the second one, you also face the first one again. So it becomes a series, and you can't rest, you can't heal in between. So even though we're a little over-leveled, we're basically fighting, I think, 36 Pokemon, with only 6 of ours. So Weasel, level 60, not a good type matchup here, but we do have Superpower, which should be... Actually, I probably shouldn't have used that maybe, because we only have 5 power points for it. But it should be an easy knockout, I would think, coming from a Darmanitan, and yes, down goes Weasel. Good job, Vulcan. So it seems like each member of the family has one more Pokemon as well. So for example, Draco here has 1, I think his sister has 2, Grandma has 3, Granddad has 4, I think his big sister has 5, and that's all I've faced so far. So the other day when I did it, I did all 5 in a row, but this time we'll be facing those 5, plus one more at the end. So I figured I'd record that just for something a little bit different, as a bit of a warm-up before we take on the Pokemon League. Alright, Teddiursa. Now she has 2. So the best thing to do would be to use Superpower. I actually don't remember who her second one is. I took a few days between the last fight and this one. I want to say it's another normal type, maybe an Eevee, but we'll see. I'm just a little bit wary that one of my other moves might not knock it out. I would think they all would, but just in case, maybe not Rock Slide. Although I don't know if I mentioned this yet, Darmanitan gets a nice boost from his ability Sheer Force, which means any move that would normally have a positive secondary effect, a beneficial secondary effect, loses that secondary effect, but gains, I think it's 30% additional power. Might be 20%, but either way, it's a nice boost. So for example, Flare Blitz can normally have a 10% chance of burning your opponent, so it loses that 10% chance, but it gains additional power. Same with Rock Slide, which loses its flinch chance, and doesn't apply to either Superpower or Earthquake. Alright, 2 down, 4 to go. Not going to read all the text, it's just kind of normal dialogue, nothing too exciting, but if you guys want to read it, of course, feel free to pause the video and do so. Alright, Bronzor. Now, if I remember correctly, I think her Bronzor has Heat Proof and not Levitate. So let's go ahead and use Earthquake. Alright, good. Because Bronzor can have 2 abilities, either Earthquake, which makes it immune to ground-type attacks, or Heat Proof, which makes it take half damage from fire attacks, which is actually a pretty cool set of abilities, because it basically negates one or the other of Bronzong's only 2 weaknesses in this generation. Alright, Golurk is a ground and ghost type, so everything should be evenly effective against Superpower. I guess Rock Slide's not very effective. So let's go for a Flare Blitz. It'll do some recoil, but should still be a one-hit knockout, I would think. Although Golurk is pretty defensive, but Darmanitan is very strong. It gets that boost from Sheer Force. It gets the stab bonus and the charcoal. That is definitely a lot of damage. Good job, Vulcan. Yeah, so Bronzor does become weak to Ghost and Dark starting in Gen 6, but in this generation, it's only weak to those 2. Alright. Kangaskhan is a very cool normal type. Actually, a Pokemon I haven't trained, at least since I was a kid. You know, I actually think I did train one as a teenager, and I think it was Leaf Green, so that's a lie. But I would definitely like to train one again sometime now that we have, like, the newer versions of the games. Maybe I'll do that in another one of these sort of, not Let's Plays, but, like, boss fight series. I have really enjoyed how this gives me a chance to use a lot of cool Pokemon that I otherwise wouldn't get a chance to use. I'm so excited, my blood is boiling. Might want to see a doctor about that. Alright, Grandpa. Now he should have 4 Pokemon. Okay, now things are getting serious. Zillion. That's a cool name. Zillion. Like zillions and zillions of dollars. Alright, Shuckle. Now Shuckle is very defensive. Let's see. I think we should probably use Rock Slide because Shuckle is Bug and Rock, which is a fairly unique, or fairly rare type, I should say. Not unique, because I guess like Armaldo is also Bug and Rock. So it won't be weak to Flare Blitz. That would be evenly effective. Let me think this through though, because Rock Slide. Let's see, 75, 150. You know, actually Flare Blitz would do more damage. We just get the recoil effect. Because Flare Blitz is also more accurate than Rock Slide, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Ironically, if we didn't have Sheer Force, I might go for Rock Slide for the nice flinch chance, but there we go. Since we don't, Flare Blitz should do more damage, and it doesn't have that chance to miss like Rock Slide does. Level 70. Vulcan is doing a good job sweeping these guys, although I don't think our luck will last forever. Alright, Crocodile is part Dark type, it's Dark and Ground, so I think this is a good time to use our last superpower. Of course, the downside here is that not only do we have no more superpowers, but we also have lower defenses and lowered attacks, so Vulcan's win streak might be coming to an end, but he defeated a lot of Pokemon for going out there on his own. And Politoed, okay. So a water type. You know, ironically, I think Flare Blitz might still do the most damage now that we don't have superpower anymore. Because it's 120 base power, Stab makes you 180, Sheer Force would make it over 200. So even cutting that in half, it's still more than the 100 base power of Earthquake. I don't know how the math works out for Rock Slide, but it's a weaker move, so I don't think it's beneficial. So let's go ahead and use Flare Blitz. The downside here is we do take recoil damage, but honestly, if it uses like Surf or really any water attack, we're going down anyway, so... Well, I guess we don't have lower special defense, come to think of it, but we are low enough on health. Bounce. It used Bounce. Very interesting. Too bad it wasn't Dig. So, instead of taking that, just sit... well, I don't know. Decisions. Because I was going to switch into Angara, reset Vulcan's defense drops, and save him to fight another day. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And I have an idea here. I'm kind of playing this out in my head. So that will reset our attack and defense drops. And hopefully we don't get paralyzed by this. I think Bounce does have like a 20 or 30% chance of paralyzing. Now I don't want to actually stay in here because I think he's going to use a water type attack. So what I'm going to do is switch into Delta. And what's really cool there is, one, I will resist his water type attack if he uses one. But if he uses Bounce, I should be faster and I can then fly to avoid the Bounce. He did use Bounce. So that was kind of a really lucky opportunity here. Up to now, are we faster? We are faster. Okay, otherwise it would have been really bad. But, haha, so not only do we avoid the Bounce, but now we can use Fly. And that should do a lot of damage to this Politoed, getting our same type attack bonus. And down he goes. And now our whole team is still alive. Everybody gets XP, yay. And Licky Licky. A kind of weird normal type. Has a good move pool though. Let's go ahead and use Superpower. I really like this Dragonite's moveset. It's like 4 really strong moves. I was going to teach him or her Thunderbolt as like a coverage move. Then I realized there's not really a situation where I would use it. Maybe against Skarmory. But Dragonite's attack is just so much higher than her special attack that it doesn't really make sense to have a move like that. And then if you could do like the punching moves like Thunder Punch or Fire Punch, but their base power is just so weak, it's almost never, unless you're facing like a Gyarados maybe, or a Pokemon that's double weak to fire, like a Parasect. It's just not really worth using them in very many scenarios. But Superpower, being a 120 base fighting move, is super effective against many opponents. Impressive Strength. Well, you too, Zillion. Surprised Licky survived that superpower. That was pretty good. Ho-ho, youth. However, next time won't be like this. Alright, trainer number 5. Which I believe is the big sister. And I assume the last one is the big brother. Alright, 5 Pokemon. The Witch is Trish. So I did face her once before, but I really don't remember anything about her team, to be honest. I've been incredibly busy in real life in between these plays. All right, but Vulcan, okay, this is good, because we are a fire type versus an ice type. Now, Superpower would have also been super effective. Weevil has a lot of weaknesses. Rock Slide would also be super effective. Ooh. Should I go for the Rock Slide? Let's not risk it. Let's use Flare Blitz. And he's faster. Ah. Alright, can we survive a Night Slash from Weevil? Not quite. Okay, so it didn't really matter what our choice was. Yeah. Weevil is very fast and has a very high attack stat, but it doesn't really have great moves, to be honest. That being said, alright, let's try to bring in Angara. The downside of Weevil is that its like stab attacks are like Night Slash and Ice Punch, at least in this generation. And Night Slash is base 70, Ice Punch is base 75. Now I might use an Ice attack, but we could easily survive a physical Ice attack, which it didn't even use. It used Dark Pulse, and we didn't flinch, which is good. Yeah, Weevil really is not a special attacker. I'm not sure why that one has Dark Pulse. Not the move I'd recommend. And we'll be fast. Are we faster than a Weevil? Let's see. We are, okay. That shows you how good moves like Agility and Rock Polish are. And Stone Edge is super effective. Down goes Weevil. Alright, now that we have that Rock Polish under our belt, let's see if we can go for an Angara sweep here. Kingdra, a dragon type, so I am a big fan. I used a Kingdra in my Heartgold Let's Play. And if you want to see one of my full Let's Plays and haven't yet, Heartgold is a really, really fun one. It's probably my favorite one. It was just a fun team. It's a great game. Trained some Pokemon I really enjoyed training. It was just all around a really good Let's Play. One of the best ones, in my opinion, that I've done. Alright, Excadrill. My brain for a second thought Beedrill, but Excadrill is a little bit more formidable, but still weak to Earthquake. Also weak to Hammer Arm, but Earthquake gets stab, it's more accurate, doesn't have the speed drop, and it's boosted by Soft Sand. So, definitely the way to go. Good job, Angara. I think their levels are getting a little bit higher too. It wasn't the first guy like 60. He was 60, and now we're 64. So I'm betting the last one will be like all 65. All right, Vespiquen. So assuming we don't miss, this should be a one-hit knockout. Rock is doubly super effective against Vespiquen since it is a bug and flying type. And once again, Angara is making quick work of her team. Heatmor. Heatmor is, I believe, a fire type. For some reason, I always want to say Heatmor might be ground type, but I'm pretty sure it's just fire. And then Earthquake should be super effective. Yeah, to be honest, I only remember who I used last time. I want to say maybe Gengar when I fought her, but what? How could I lose? Alright, well we have 5 members of our team left. They've taken a little bit of damage. But it is time to face the toughest member of the Rich family. I am Miles, the next head of the Riches. I will protect the honor of our family. Alright, Miles, bring it on. Actually, the dad is here too. He will trade you things for... I think he trades you fossils for rare items or something like that, or gives you money, lots of money for rare items you can find. And yep, he has a full team of 6, level 65. This should be a fun match. Alright, so... kind of wish I still had Aqua Tail at this point, but I don't. So... do I want to lock myself into Outrage this early on? I guess I might as well. Definitely our best move. And my favorite move. 120 base power. 100% accuracy, and it does get stand-up attack bonus. Wow, Donphin is actually very, very strong defensively, although it looks like Outrage still would have knocked it out despite those good defenses, if not for its ability Sturdy, so... I actually didn't realize it had Sturdy. Oh, and are we... I think it used Scary Face to lower my speed. I wasn't really paying attention there. Can we survive a Giga Impact? We can. Good job, Dragonite. That was good. A little worried about that there, because definitely a strong move, but being a normal type attack, Donphin does not get the same type attack bonus. Alright, and Haxorus. Ooh, unfortunately, we are probably slower. Yes, we are. And that will be super effective, so down goes Delta, but Delta did a good job against Donphin there, and now it's 4-5. Alright, gotta be a little bit careful here. I'm a little nervous of Haxorus using Dragon Dance, and we don't have any more Ice or Dragon attacks on our team. So let's bring out a Pokemon with very high defenses. And I wonder, even if it Dragon Dances and we use Rock Polish, would we be faster? It'll be close. But let's see what it wants to do. The fact that we have Solid Rock as our ability. Swords Dance, interesting. That'll double its attack stat. The fact that we have our ability Solid Rock, which makes us take a little less damage from super effective attacks, gives me more confidence than I otherwise might have. Like if it uses Earthquake, it won't do much damage to Angara despite being super effective. What I'm really worried about are special attacks that are super effective, or attacks that are 4 times super effective. But I don't think Haxorus has any of those. Although we can learn Aqua Tail, but even so, without getting stabbed, I might be okay. Alright, well, we should be faster, but if we don't knock it out with Earthquake, it might be able to retaliate with a very strong attack now that it has that Swords Dance under its belt. Luckily, it was a knockout. Go Angara. Yeah, Haxorus is super duper strong and also fairly fast, but not the best defenses. And Lantern, okay, well, a water and electric type should be weak to Earthquake. Maybe we can get another Angara sweep going on here. And down goes Lantern. Oh, might be our first 71. Alright, Tangrowth. Okay, this is a little bit harder, because Tangrowth will resist Earthquake, so we have to go with Stone Edge. But Tangrowth, I think, has a pretty good defense stats, so I'm thinking this probably will not be a knockout. We also don't have an item that boosts our attack for this, yeah. And Power Whip, that, I'm worried about that, because even though it's a physical attack, and we have Solid Rock basically makes it 3 times effective instead of 4 times, and that's still a lot of damage. Alright, so we are down to 3. Do I want to use Atlas, Zenit, or Angara? Let's go with Zenit, because our Sludge Bomb will be super effective, although I think we could probably take out Tangrowth with any of our current team. But let's play it safe here, because we're down to only half of our Pokemon left. And I don't want our first loss to be against Miles. I'm a little worried our first loss will be against the champion, since his Pokemon are going to be, I think, higher level than ours by a decent bit. But at the very least, it should make for a fun game. Alright, now Bisharp, interesting. So Bisharp will resist or be immune to our stab attacks, but it is doubly weak to Focus Blast, and we didn't miss. So this should be an easy one-hit knockout. Good thing it didn't have Sucker Punch, because that would have done a lot of damage. Down goes Bisharp. And is that it? Nope, one more. Braviary, a normal and flying type. So I think Thunderbolt is the move to use here. Braviary is pretty strong. I trained one in my first Gen 5 playthrough, my Pokemon White game. But can it survive a Thunderbolt? Yes, it can. And Brave Bird. Okay, so this should do a lot of damage to Zenit, but it will also do a lot of recoil damage. So we hung on, and the recoil killed Braviary. Great job, Zenit. I wasn't sure about that. That's awesome, because that means we didn't lose the XP. This is ridiculous. Also, you get a lot of money for these guys, so I definitely recommend facing them if you're playing this game. I guess it's still too early to identify myself as the head of the family. You should be proud of yourself for defeating the distinguished trainer family, the Riches. Alright, and I guess there's not really a prize for that. I thought there might be, but I guess the satisfaction of winning and all the Pokédollars is the prize. Let's check the trash can. Let's see if the dad says anything. Nope, he just wants to buy rare items. I don't think we have. Oh, you wanna whoop, not a trainer ball. I was gonna give him the white flute, but let's see if he takes that. I'm sure we have other rare things that he might want. Sure. Oh wow, we actually have, look at all the money we have. I'll have to buy some more Hyper Potions and Revives and things before we face the Pokemon League. But, alright, that is it for now. I'll go ahead and train up the rest of our team to level 71 and heal them up, obviously. And when we come back, it'll be time for our Pokemon League rematch. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you all then. Take care.